everybody, how's it going? This is Jacqui Van Ham, your girl in the know for all things motorcycle. Welcome to your midweek motorcycling event news and events, all sorts of stuff going on. Today is going to be a heck of a show. Make sure you take a second, hit that share button with your friends who like hearing about awesome stuff going on out here in motorcycle land. I hope all of you had an awesome weekend, no matter where you are out there in the world. As always, to all of our overseas viewers, hola, konnichiwa, guten tag, bonjour, and bonjour. No, thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. As always, I can see your comments. Feel free to peek in and say hello to me. I always love to see where you all are tuning in from. And welcome back to all of our top fans who are regular watchers of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. So yeah, there's a bunch of really rad stuff going on in motorcycling because of the COVID, hashtag COVID casualty. All sorts of live event stuff has just totally come off of the table for 2020. And that includes new bike reveals and rollouts. So a lot of this stuff is going to be digital. So there's kind of some cool new bike stuff coming your way, but it's all going to be online. I've got dates for that kind of stuff. And then a new breaking news beep, 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 beep thing that just was announced today or yesterday is a consumer show, although really it's kind of a B2B, business to business show called AIM Expo here in the United States. It was slated to be this fall. They postponed it to January and changed it to be a non-consumer show. It was just going to be B2B. They have scratched that whole game plan and they are gone for 2021 as well. They are looking forward to being back in their original form in 2022. So this is a real kind of canary in the coal mine situation here because already EICMA in Italy has been canceled. Intermot in Germany has been canceled. IMS here in the United States has been canceled. AIM Expo has been canceled. Everything is getting pushed until well into 2021. This is a really very interesting, concerning, a bit of news for my overseas, for my motorcycle industry fans, or my motorcycle industry friends, I should say, because, this means literally the face of events is going to be changing going into 2021. Mark my word. I'm not happy about it. This is the industry I work in, but this is what's happening. So there's going to be much bigger switch to things being digital, things being online, racing, streaming racing, which brings me to another great piece of news that I wanted to bring to you. I also have been working very hard on putting together a kit, a little bit of a system in order to be able to stream motorcycle racing at a much more reasonably priced and be kind of like a one-woman show where I'm up in the tower with my cameras, my computer controlling stuff, maybe doing a little bit of color commentary while I'm doing it. I've been working on that. So that's my game plan for the rest of 2020 and going into 2021 for sure, because I just really think events are going to be kind of gone, daddy gone for a while. So I think that this is the new face of it. And speaking of digital, I just want to take a minute and thank also my friends down at Boswell's Harley-Davidson in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. I had a great day last week filming with them to promote some of the stuff that they've got going on in-house. So, again, it's a digital world out here for the next, I don't know how long. So that's kind of what's the beginning of today's show is going to be about some bike releases that are going to be online. So let's get down to it. Let's talk about what's going on. So as you can see, coming November 23rd, Kawasaki is going to have some news rolling out. And they are going to be releasing 6 new bikes on November 23rd. Again, this is going to obviously be a digital play. They're going to be releasing 6 new bikes. As you can see from the graphic on the screen, they're undercover. Nobody knows what they are. It's all very like shrouded in mystery. It's all very exciting. But I can tell you a couple of those bikes are dirt bikes for sure. You can already tell from the shape. You can tell by the wheels. You can tell by one of the bash plates underneath. Like the center bike has got a kind of a crash guard. The one to the right of it has a bit of a crash guard. Anyway, Kawasaki confirmed it will launch 6 new 2021 models for North America, with an updated Ninja ZX-10R expected to be among them. The Kawasaki date is November 23rd at 6 a.m. PST for the big reveal. A teaser video and images show 6 models undercover. So anyway, they're kind of guessing at what some of these bikes might be. Again, there's going to be an update to the Ninja for sure. And there's a little bit of a rumor that one of those bikes, they're going to re-release the absolute flagship, iconic heritage Kawasaki KLR, and this bike is rumored to be not only part of that November 23rd lineup, it's rumored to also be a larger displacement. The largest KLR ever made was a KLR 650. It was a single. There is a rumor that it's going to be maybe closer to the 700cc range, and they're talking about getting into doing it as a twin. So this is incredibly exciting news for my dual sport adventure dorks. This bike is just a super, super iconic, bulletproof machine. They killed it several years ago, much to the dismay of many, 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 many riders. So there is a rumor that it's going to be coming back on November 23rd. So you're going to need to stay tuned. I, of course, bring you all that news the soonest that I get it, but you're going to want to stay tuned to all of that. Another new bike that is getting ready to be released digitally, and they're not even being sneaky about it, is this awesome Triumph. Look at how beautiful that is. If you can't quite tell what's going on with like the paint or graphics that's on that bike, this is very common. When motorcycle companies are out testing bikes in the wild that are production but not released yet, they use a lot of that super high graphics on the bikes in order to, it acts as camouflage, because when you photograph it now, I can't really see the exact shapes of the tank and of the bodywork. So this is a very, very common thing for companies to do. You'll see this all of the time. But if you look really close, the graphics that they've used are the little Triumph logo just repeated over and over and over and over again. Anywho, I think that this bike is absolutely beautiful. This has been seen and shot in the wild, so this is not a secret anymore. They just have not revealed the final incantation of this machine. This is Triumph's new Trident. So this means it's going to be a triple, obviously. And you can tell by the style of this bike, this is absolutely a roadster style machine. I think it's super, super kick-ass looking. A very fun, very like naked style bike. I love this style of bike. This is kind of my jam. Plus, it's a triple, so I think this is going to be super interesting. Again, this has been spotted out in the wild already. Already in August, Triumph previewed its upcoming 2021 Triumph Trident Triple in the form of a white painted styling model shown at London's Design Museum. Now, the firm has released the first images of the machine in final form, disguised only with a Triumph logoed wrap to hide its eventual paintwork. So this bike is coming. I don't have the exact dates for this, but you know I will be bringing that to you the second that I see it. This is over on cycleworld.com. They're talking about it a little bit. I still have not seen. Triumph is promising a full reveal very soon and says the Trident will go on sale in spring of 2021. Another little bit of interesting news, I thought. First of all, if you're not familiar with the bike that's on the screen right now, that is the American company Zero. Zero is an electric bike company. They're absolutely the biggest, the best player in the e-bike category. They've actually managed to bring bikes to market. They've actually managed to build a dealership network across the United States. They have support for these bikes. They've got dealers for these bikes. They sell these bikes. They test ride these bikes, and these bikes are absolutely kick-ass. They do several different versions of their e-bikes. The one I wanted to show you was the Zero DSR, because I think that that's just super slick. Again, it's a bit of kind of like a naked bike kind of vibe. They do a big adventure bike with full bags. That's super dope. They do dirt bikes. They do all sorts of rad stuff. Anyway, it's just a really cool American company called Zero. Well, it just was announced last week that Zero and Polaris, which is the manufacturer of Indian Motorcycle, as well as many, many, many other power sports products, they have decided to climb into bed together for a little bit of a collab for the next handful of years. Let's go ahead and check out the article over on motorcycle.com. Polaris Industries and Zero Motorcycles announced a 10-year partnership to develop electric off-road vehicles and snowmobiles. This, I think, is an absolutely brilliant way to bring electric and e-bike tech into the entire power sports category in a bigger way. Because what makes better sense to haul those big ass heavy batteries than a four-wheeler or a snow machine? There's plenty of room in there. They've got plenty of horsepower. There's plenty of places to store a spare backup battery versus on the motorcycles. While they still make it work out, you can see in the picture, still is beautiful. They've got good range. They go a long time. They also have a pull-in and pull-out battery technology that is a bit proprietary to Zero. They're one of the few e-bike companies that do it that way. So that means you can have a backup charged battery that you lug around with you. So if you do go for a little bit longer ride, you get caught without having the opportunity to charge your motorcycle, you can swap batteries out. But I think that this is an even better way to skin that cat, is bringing one on a quad or a snowmobile. So I thought that this was interesting. It's a 10-year partnership between Zero and between Polaris. So that's really rad. But it brings me to mind a little bit of news that happened, gosh, it must be maybe 2 years ago now. Time flies. Whew. Several years ago now, another American manufacturer under the name of Harley-Davidson also climbed into bed with an American e-bike company called Alta. Unfortunately, that went completely sideways and the cheese slid all the way off the cracker during that partnership, because Harley entered into that partnership with some sort of good faith type paperwork. They hadn't really signed on the dotted line and the ink hadn't dried anywhere, but they got into bed well enough to be able to tour Alta's facilities, to check out Alta's intellectual property, to get their hands on some of that intellectual property, and then broke the deal off, which unfortunately sent Alta into a tailspin, and Alta is now out of business. They really needed that huge infusion of cash to keep on going. And when Harley-Davidson pulled out, it just completely deflated like a balloon. And Alta unfortunately caved in upon itself. Now, don't feel totally bad for the Alta folks, because there is a silver lining in all of this. The company that manufactures Can-Am up in Canada purchase the intellectual property for Alta. So there's going to be so they're utilizing that technology and some of their new e-bikes that they've been trickling out and doing little prototypes of. They launched one last year at the EICMA Italian Motorcycle Show. Was it EICMA? EICMA? Yeah, it must have been EICMA. And they launched it last year at the EICMA show. So there has been a silver lining for the folks over at Alta. But again, is this in good faith? Is this going to really happen? I'm going to assume so, because they've released that it's a 10-year piece of paper. So I'm hoping the best for both of those companies. I think that's really outstanding and really exciting. And, whether you're an ATV, UTV side-by-side fan or not, sales are absolutely through the roof for 2020. People are looking to recreate outside, and they want to be able to take their kids with them. They want to be able to take a cooler with maybe some beer with them. They want to take their dogs with them, whatever. Four-wheelers are absolutely through the roof right now. So I think that this is a really, really exciting bit of news. So good. Congratulations. Huge high fives and a round of applause for those folks for hooking up together. And I'm excited to see what kind of rad stuff is going to come out of that awesome 10-year partnership. Now, let's get down to some events. There is some motorcycling events going on here this weekend here in the United States and abroad. This weekend in Charlotte, there's going to be 2 more rounds. It's another doubleheader. It's a double-double for our friends over at American Flat Track Racing. American Flat Track Racing has 2 races on the 9th and on the 10th. They're going to be running over at the dirt track at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So this is kind of a neat, cool thing. It's kind of in bed with the NASCAR folks over there. Again, you've got 2 dates to go check that out. This will be the full run of production twins, super twins, and then their singles class. So they're going to have all 3 classes running. I'm sure it's going to be an awesome, incredible event. So if you are over in that neck of the woods, you should be going to that race, because their season has just been off the chain. They're having a really, really good time over there, and the racing is incredibly exciting. So make sure if you are in the Charlotte area, you go check that out this weekend. More flat track racing is going on. My friends over at Extreme Flat Track, my buddies over there, are having another fun weekend in Waco for my Texas friends. This is going on October 10th and 11th. This is the Waco Eagles Motorcycle Club flat track motorcycle racing in Waco, Texas. The races are at noon. They are allowing spectators, so that's really, really good news. So go check it out if you're in the Texas area. Go check out some rad racing for my friends over at Extreme Flat Track. Moto America, which is America's Superbike Series, is racing this weekend in Indianapolis. And this is a live spectator event. Woo! Praise Jesus. There's a live event going on for our friends over at Moto America this weekend in Indianapolis. This has also been some really exciting racing. They've been streaming, I think, the entire season. They maybe had one other live event. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But they've been streaming the entire thing. So give them some love. Go cheer them on in person. Go support some kick-ass American motorcycle motorsports and go say hi to those folks if you're in the Indianapolis area. This is at the Brickyard, by the way. So another iconic, this whole weekend is all about like racing at NASCAR or at stock car type racing events is going on this entire weekend. But this is Moto America. This is high horsepower machines. This is going to be some great racing. And this is going on in Indianapolis this week. And this is October 9th through the 11th. They do 2 days of racing. The racing is going to be on the 10th and on the 11th. Arizona Bike Week is kicking off this weekend. It starts today through the 11th. This goes on in Scottsdale at West World of Scottsdale. I've got a ton of friends that are going to this. Again, events are kind of gone, daddy gone. So there's not too many left. So if you want to hang out and stay socially distant and wear your mask and see your buddies and kick some tires and drink some beers, this is one of your last opportunities to do so outside of racing, of course. So Arizona Bike Week kicks off this weekend in Scottsdale. So make sure you go check that out. For my overseas viewers, we've only got a couple rounds left for MotoGP. MotoGP again has just been, I don't know if everyone, because of COVID pushing the season so late, people got like butterflies or extra time to practice or extra time to tweak the bikes, or I don't know, but racing this year has been incredible across the board for just about everybody, honestly. Everybody is having like just kick-ass, rowdy seasons with insane, just bar-banging action going on, and it is no different for the folks over at MotoGP. The season has been really crazy over there. I keep saying it every week, but Marc Marquez is out of this season, which is like, woo, opened the door wide open for the rest of the field. Marc Marquez is just a hell of a racer, and he's just been dominating MotoGP for years now, but it opened the door to a lot of other race teams, and it's been really exciting over there. This weekend, the race is over in France. This is going to be going on this weekend. Again, I believe I'm like 99% certain, I didn't click through, but they've been streaming everything. So go over to MotoGP.com to check out the information on what it takes to stream their races. I know they're doing deep discounts because they've only got a handful of races left. So head over to MotoGP.com and purchase that package and watch these races because it has been a hell of a season. Again, that's this weekend. MotoGP is happening in France. Back here in the U.S. is the final race for our friends at Lucas Oil Pro Motocross this weekend, October 10th in Pala, California. This is motocross versus ATV, two-wheel versus four-wheel banging bar action. Of course, they're not racing together, but it's gonna be both disciplines of power sports are gonna be racing this weekend in California. This is the final for the folks over at Lucas Oil Pro Motocross. So that looks like a hell of a good time. This goes on October 10th at Fox Raceway in Pala, California. Now, a handful of other events that are going on next weekend that I will be partaking in are down in beautiful Tennessee. This is in Shelbyville, Tennessee. On Friday, October 16th, is an indoor speedway race, which is the super fast and tiny and lightweight and itty-bitty gas tanks and zero brakes indoor dirt type racing. This is going to be super rad. I have not seen speedway racing, I don't think ever, live and in person, but I'm a huge fan. They do speedway racing a ton in Europe, a decent amount on the West Coast, hardly any out here. And a bunch of the West Coast pros are coming all the way to Tennessee to check it out. So I think that is going to be awesome. And I'm definitely going to go just as a spectator because I'm a fan. I'm going to go Friday night and go check this out. And then the following night is an flat track race going on as well. This is a more traditional flat track type race. There's going to be several different classes going on, including a hooligan class with a nice big $1,000 fat championship purse. I will be announcing those races. I will be holding down that live stream for those folks over there. So I will be working that race event on October 17th in Shelbyville, Tennessee as part of the Celebration of Speed weekend. Come and see me. If you are in the Midwest, middle part of America area, come on down. Check out a kick-ass weekend of awesome racing. Come say hi. Let's say wave hello from a distance. Try to stay safe and all that good stuff. But I really look forward to seeing all of you guys at all of my events. I love when you come say hey to me and we give hugs and high fives and knuckle bumps and all that good stuff. I love it when I see you guys out on the road. So don't be shy. Make sure you come and say hello if you go to either of these events and you see me running around. I'm really short, so look down. I'm down here, and I do wear glasses, so I'm blind as a bat. So if I don't see you right off the gate, like come over to me and say hello. I need you to be up close. But thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I think that's it as far as today's new news going on. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. I will be next weekend again in Tennessee. I will be next month in Arizona for a really kick-ass Supermoto event. It is an AMA sanctioned championship race going on in Tucson. I'll be out there the very first weekend of November. It is a Supermoto race, but they're also sneaking a hooligan race in there. And I'm going to be doing some color commentary and some video hosting for those races for Spot TV as well. So I'm really, really pumped about that. This is your first warning for my friends out in Arizona. I would love to see you there. Again, it's the very first weekend. I'll bring you more information of that as we get closer to the date. But thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's show. Make sure you share it with your buddies that love hearing about kick-ass motorcycle stuff. As always, let's go over and say hey to some of you in the comments. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, thank you for my top fans. For some reason, the setting is on this, and it is showing me now, like, all the viewers, which is cool because I can see all of you tuning in. That's dope. But I can't see your comments as easily. I've got to figure out how to change this thing. It's like 500 notifications, but only like 2 of them are comments. I don't know how to change this. Anyway, I'll try to figure this out here sooner rather than later, but I'm just going to go ahead and give you a great big general. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hey, Jay Rodrigo from Mexico City. What's going on? Hola, hola. ¿Cómo está? And then just on a personal note, I know that you are completely bombarded with it because I am too, but please take time to register to vote if you have not already. If you still have registration open in your state, please go register to vote and make sure you are ready to vote at the beginning of November. Here in Kentucky alone, they restored voting rights to over 175,000 non-violent felons here in this state. A lot of them were like marijuana and like just dumb shit felonies. But those people serve their time. They pay the price. They should have their voting rights restored, which they did. Our governor recently just did that for them. So I know that there's an awful lot of people who think that they can't vote or that they're not registered to vote, or maybe you think you're registered to vote. Please go double check. I just went and double checked mine, and it was showing me as not registered, even though I totally am all over registering and voting. Like I'm into it. It's our right. And you got to exercise our rights. But just as a pro tip here in the United States, please do make sure you are registered. Go double check that you're registered to vote. Make a plan to go and vote. Request that ballot early if you can. I know we can here in Kentucky. I've already received mine, so I can fill it out and just take it and drop it off in person at the drop-off stations, and it couldn't be any easier, right? But that's it. I just wanted to go ahead and put a little bug in your ear. I know you're getting blasted with it. It's all over my Facebook. I know. But I have to say it. I have to be like a good patriot. I have to say it. But thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I will see you on Friday. Huge thanks to my show partner, Vroom Your Room. Vroom Retract Vac. It is my most favorite tool in the garage. It totally sucks, and it's supposed to. Thank you so much to my product partner for the past month, my buddies over at Cardo. TwoStrokeTees.com. I've still got some t-shirts available. Make sure you pick them up. Free shipping in the lower US. All Things Motorcycle, the podcast. Download it. Do it. And of course, thank you to our Choppertown Nation out here. I could not do half the stuff I do without each and every one of you watching and sharing these shows. The more eyeballs we get, the more I get to do what I do out here. So please do take a second and share this video with your pages and your friends. I appreciate you, and I will see you on Friday.